Welcome back, everyone, to AF9 Deep Truth Files. They call me Ancient. Now, what we're going to be doing right now, each and every Monday, we're dropping videos about raising the vibration, being in alignment with money. So this is called Money Vibes Monday. So what we're doing right now is that what can we do to raise the vibration, frequency, alignment to get in line with our pockets. Make sure that the pocket is vibrating high as well. Look at the things that are affecting us as well, moving into 2026 and beyond to improve our money and them stuff. So one of the things that we do look into is such as what's it called again? Emotional spending. That's one thing that we do look into. And you want to know what emotional spending is? Emotional spending is when your feelings hijack your wallet. You're buying because you need something, and you're buying not because you need something. You're buying because you're trying to change how you feel. Think of it like retail therapy. Let's buy that jacket because it makes me feel good and all them stuff, but it's not really necessary. So it's put you at a short. It makes you feel good in the short term, but messed up in the long term. So yeah, it's like emotional purchase, therapy relief, guilt, then repeat. So we're trying to get out of that cycle. So your brain is basically chasing like a dopamine hit and not the product, if you understand where I'm coming from. So the common spending triggers are like stress, which means like I deserve this, sadness or loneliness. This will make me feel better. Boredom. Let me scroll and buy. Yeah, low self-worth. If I look better, I will feel better. Ego spikes. I need to show I'm winning. You know them stuff. People flexing all the time online, but it's not really. It is what it is. So let's look into this video and see what else is going on.
I entered debt because I was bad with money. Since being on this journey, I have realised that my spending wasn't about money at all. It was a form of coping. I spent money when I was overwhelmed, when I was anxious, when I was feeling sad, even when I was during my period. I mean, even now, I get urges to spend money when I'm flooding with emotions. It gave me a lot of comfort, it gave me control, it gave me a quick dopamine hit. I thought for a long time that I was just bad with money, but I realised now that there is a lot more depth to it than just that. Obviously, I'm still trying to get out of debt, but part of my debt journey is also learning new ways to deal with coping with my emotions that isn't spending money and getting into more debt. And if you want to see the reality of being in debt and dealing with emotions, mental health, spending, just the reality of it all, then follow along for the journey. I am trying to be honest as possible, and I probably yap too much, but yeah, just follow along if you feel like you're in a similar position. It's normal. I just want to normalize it. It's normal.
Yeah, people do go through this, but how do you interrupt that pattern? So it's practical, it's not spiritual fluff. So three ways to kill this pattern that you're going through right now. So you pause for like 24 hours. You get when you're there, you ask yourself this question: is this real? Is it still there? Will it still be there tomorrow? Name the emotions out loud. Are you stressed? Are you bored? Are you feeling behind? The awareness collapse, the spell. Replace the dopamine hit. Like if you're stressed, work out or go for a walk, not to the shopping center. Boredom, you create content, do something, learn, put a TV show on, something. You get me? Low mood music. Pick some music like will uplift the spirit, and movement and them stuff. Ego itch. Build something. Don't buy something. Same dopamine with zero debt. All right. So if you understand what I'm talking about, one of the next things that affect us when it comes to dealing with our money, our pocket as well, is the lack of self-regulation. So this is the inability to constantly manage your impulse, your emotion, attention, and behavior in service of long-term goals. In plain English, you know what to do, but you still don't do it. or you do the opposite repeatedly. And that's what we're here to fix. All right. So let's break it down on sharp and usable. So self-regulation is your internal CEO. It pauses reaction, delay gratification, manages emotions under pressure, keep behavior aligned with values and goals. Neurologically, it's driven mainly by the prefrontal cortex, logic, planning, keep. You see, when your emotion is weak, when your regulation is weak, emotion runs the company. It follows. Chaos follows. Okay. What lack of self-regulation looks like in real life. If this hits close to home, congrats, you're a human. Acting on impulse, spending, eating, texting, quitting, emotional overreaction, procrastination, plus last minute panic, addictive loops, doom scrolling, substances, validation, chasing, saying I'll do it tomorrow, like it's a mantra. You actually put that as a mantra, knowing better but doing worse. That's one. And then this is laziness. It is a control system problem. So the root cause, lack of self regulation, usually comes from one of these. It's like your nervous system overload with chronic stress, trauma, lack of sleep. Your brain stays in survival mode. Survival brain don't plan, they react. Emotional avoidance. If you were never taught how to feel emotion safety, you try to escape by like eating food, like binge eating, spending, you watch like corn, excessive. Yeah, that's good at times. You find other ways to distract yourself. Impulse becomes self-medication. So it's like a dopamine hijacking. Social media, junk food, the corn, constant novelty. Your brain gets addicted to easy rewards. Long-term goals feel boring by comparison. Weak internal structure. So there's no routine, no rules, no boundaries, and that equals to friction against impulse. Okay, freedom without structure is not freedom, it's an trophy. All right, all right. So let's hear what my guy is saying right here.
The steps are the easiest and most efficient way to start your nervous system healing journey. Most people don't know where to begin with their nervous system. They just jump into some form of breathwork, habit forming, or thought patterns they discovered on social media, and then they stay stuck, often even discouraged. So here are 5 steps that I actually teach, build on each other, and that can be your roadmap for nervous system work that actually creates change. I'm Keith, and I guide people to nervous system transformation using natural altered states. And this is how you can start on your own. Step number 1, self-acceptance. This is the foundation everything else builds on. Your nervous system cannot heal while you're at war with it. Self-acceptance means stopping the constant attack on yourself for being activated, triggered, or stuck. It means understanding that your reactions make sense, that your patterns were protective, and that nothing about you is broken. Without this, every other practice becomes another way to fix yourself, and your nervous system responds to that as danger. When you accept where you are without judgment, your nervous system can finally relax enough to begin changing. This isn't giving up. This is creating the internal safety that allows transformation. Step number 2, coherent breathing for capacity building. Once you have acceptance, you need to build nervous system capacity. Coherent breathing is a specific breathing pattern that trains your system to handle more activation without shutting down or spiraling. This isn't about calming yourself down when you're triggered. This is daily practice that expands your window of tolerance over time. Your nervous system needs capacity before it can process deeper material. Without capacity, you'll keep hitting the same walls: overwhelm, shutdown, or explosion. Coherent breathing builds the container that lets you go deeper safely. This is foundation work that makes everything else possible. Number 3, body mapping. Now you need to learn the language your nervous system actually speaks. Body mapping is the practice of noticing and tracking sensations in your body without story or judgment. Where do you feel tension? What does activation feel like in your chest, your throat, or your stomach? Your nervous system communicates through sensation, and most people are completely disconnected from their body. The body mapping reconnects you. It teaches you to feel what's happening in real time instead of being swept away by it. This awareness is essential because you can't work with what you can't feel. Body mapping gives you the information you need to respond to your system. 4, noticing and responding as soon as emotions start. This is where the real work begins. Now that you have acceptance, capacity, and body awareness, you can catch emotions and activation as they start, before they overwhelm you. This means feeling the first flutter of anxiety, the first tightness of anger, the first heaviness of grief, and meeting it right there. Not pushing it away, not letting it build into overwhelm, but working with it as it arises. Your nervous system needs to learn that emotions can be felt and processed in real time. This practice teaches your system that feeling is safe, that emotions have a beginning and an end, and that you have agency in how you respond. Step 5, deepening the practice. This is where most people get it wrong. They have the basics and immediately look for the next technique, the next breathwork protocol, the next course, the next retreat. But transformation doesn't come from collecting more tools. It comes from going deeper into these 4 foundations until they become embodied. Deepening means self-acceptance becomes your default, not something you have to remember to practice. Coherent breathing becomes automatic when you need it. Body mapping becomes constant awareness, not a scheduled exercise. Working with emotions in real time becomes natural, not effortful. This is where the real change happens, not in learning more, but in living these practices until they're no longer practices. They're just how you are. This is embodiment, and it's what creates long-lasting transformation. These 5 steps build on each other. You shouldn't skip ahead. Self-acceptance creates safety. Capacity building creates resilience. Body mapping creates awareness. Working with emotions in real time creates skill. Deepening creates transformation. Start at step 1. Build your foundation. Each step prepares you for the next. This is the path to nervous system healing that actually works.
Make notes. Now, you see when I talk about like the moon and the subconscious, that's your default money behavior. So when I say the moon and the subconscious, I'm talking about the part of you that spends, saves, and avoids or self-sabotage money without asking for your permission. There's no logic, no hustle, no strategy, instincts, habit, emotional reflex. So what does this actually controls? So the moon, it controls emotional safety, comfort-seeking behavior, childhood conditioning, stress response, like I deserve this moment. It deals with I'll deal with it later, avoidance, procrastination, and when money comes in, the moon asks one question. Do I feel safe right now? If the answer is no, then spending, leaking, rescuing others, overgiving. Yeah. Impulsive decisions. If the answer is yes, then money stays, it compounds, and it grows. Why money is easy? Is easy to get but hard to hold. And you can know budgeting, understanding investment, you can watch finance on YouTube, even make more money, and you still lose it. Why? Because the moon learns money pattern before age 7. Okay. Now, examples. You recognize yourselves here. So you earn, self-relief, immediate spending. You feel stress, so that equals like buying something small. You save, so self-deprive, sabotage. You get ahead, so it's guilt kicks in, self-correct downwards. That's not just stupidity. That's the moon programming, right there. So the real money code. Let's see what's going on right here. So if your nervous system feels unstable, money won't stay. If your emotions are regulated, money obeys. Wealth sticks to calm people, not just smart ones. This is why two people can earn the same and live completely different financial lives. So, how to plug into the money vibration? We're going to look into that. But first, we're going to see how the moon actually affects our emotion, because you need to remember this. The moon affects the tides, the ocean, the water bodies of the world. The world is like the earth they said is like 70 to 80% water. So if it can control a massive body of water such as like oceans and rivers, even lakes, streams and ponds, why couldn't it affect us when we are 70% water as well? Let's hear what my queen, my sister, have to say right here.
If you are not familiar with the full moon and why people go so crazy about it, especially when we go through a full moon or a new moon, this video is for you. First off, did you know that the full moon affects all bodies of water on the planet? Lakes, oceans, rivers, us. We are a body of water. Don't believe me? Look it up. Now, keep in mind, the moon affects the tides in the ocean. The moon affects whether the tides are high or whether they are low. And just like the ocean, by us being a body of water, the moon affects our emotions. Depending on how the moon is aligned, what house it's in, what sign it's in, what it's conjunct to, the moon affects whether our emotions are high or low. This is due to repetitional pull of the moon. So yes, the moon affects our mood. It's called lunar energy. So with this lunar energy combined with a full moon, that's where you get people
With the lunar energy. So when you're acting out of character, what they call you? A lunatic.
acting like lunatics.
Ah.
People are lunar during this moon, causing them to act like a lunatic. So understand, when there is a full moon and people are acting like lunatics, people are acting moody, people are acting chaotic, that is due to the moon pulling on the water within us, causing a reaction out of us like it does with the ocean. You must remember, everything is connected. As above, so below.
Everything is connected. So learn to regulate your emotions. You can also regulate your money. These are the steps that we're going to be following going on every Monday. So this is the new thing on H and AF9 Deep Shoot Files, Money Vibes Monday. So we're going to dig more and more. We're going to delve into it. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to raise the vibration and bring awareness to the consciousness, and see how the environment affects us as well when it comes to what's everything. So we're going to look into it. All right, we're moving forward. So AF9 Deep Shoot Files, they call me Ancient. Tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. Leave your vibe down below.